The vortexes are opening up, and you need to know which one to choose. Vortex being a life-changing event. You buy a new house, you move into the new neighborhood, or you decide to be homeless and live in the fucking car. Whatever you decide to do in your life, it could have a big implication into the future. And right now, vortexes are opening, especially for Americans who want to run away from America. Please come here. I have space. I just need your money, and I give you space. How does that sound? You don't have to be a homeless American in a fucking car. You can reject yourself from society and enter something greater. You want to be my friend? Contact me in Discord. Or I want to move into my house too. It just my house has no utilities. You need to invest like 5K, I imagine, and you have all the utilities all of a sudden. But until that happens, it's a pretty shitty place to be. So I literally own a vortex. I can go from, apartment building made out of hell, basically, itself, into a house, which I call a garden because it has a plot of land. And there's no ideal translation for the word, actually. So, what we need to understand vortexes better is the proposition of value versus, the negatives. The positives and the negatives, I will call them conveniences and inconveniences, basically. And I would call this green and blue. Convenience, inconvenience. All right? It has to be a clear upgrade from what you currently have. You can't just, on a whim, make a jump and get nothing in return. You have to be able to make a transition, first of all. All right? Calculate a transition. You have to change your mind immediately about this. If you cannot be in two places at once and make a very educated transition into the vortex, then it's not worth it. So I have this established. You need this. You need to be in both places whenever you feel like it. Yes, commutes will eat your time. Teleportation is not free, it will eat your time. And you can only carry a certain amount of things through the portal of walking down the street into another location. For me, this happens to be 20 minutes, both to one side. 20-minute teleport, basically, into a different fucking dimension. Like, that's how you have to look at vortexes. This is absolutely crazy. And living amongst people, especially more and more toxicated people, I mean, that can be a problem. Especially when you realize, like, what capitalism is like privacy and money and ownership. And ownership can be actually attacked in various ways, right? People can steal your stuff and actually scare you to death because of that. I don't know how to fight fears, my friends. I'd rather not talk about it and just have people I can trust, It is the fun thing because it's the apocalypse. Alright? It is what it is right now. And we are suffering all together. Not separate whatsoever. We should be friends in that regard by now. But people choose not to be friends, and it still fucking bothers me, and I'm really that big of a deal to just be around with. Really? I do ask for quality people to spend my time, of course. It's another calculated decision. So anytime a vortex is going to show up and ask me a question, whether I want to jump in, I'll make the following calculations. All right? And there's two more things that's going to occur. I'll place them down, and we'll use that later. Alright. Basically, we have 4 elements that will help us calculate the number of is it worth it? Is it worth to invest and jump in? It will answer all the questions. So here's my calculation. I do not have internet there. So it's a down of, let's say, 2 times. Because I want the internet. And it will take time for me to establish anything, and I will be having to teleport and not have a lot of activities whatsoever. I need the internet, right? And even if I establish the internet, it's still going to be a down because I have to pay extra. Or it's still not enough data, a small data plan, or some bullshit like that. I don't need much. I actually just watch a few YouTube videos, a little bit of TikTok. It doesn't seem to eat up the data that much. Yeah, capitalism is such an annoying system where, yes, you can solve all your problems if you're up here. If I'm just hitting the line, if the problem grows out of control, it grows out of control. If people don't even offer a proper price to solve the problem, then I can't fucking find a solution. You can't just move to solve things, by the way. You can solve your problems by paying other people to solve your fucking problem. But there might not be an expert who can fucking do that. Because we don't grow that shit anymore. We don't grow people who have jobs. We grow joblessness and minimum wage slavery. Because both of this is really bad. Like, trying to reach to the minimum wage is slavery. Trying to reach to get a job is slavery. Because you work so fucking hard to find a job. Where did the job spawn? Like, capitalism must die. Your mindset has to kill capitalism faster and better and harder because it's holy shit bad right now. Alright? That's the only way. So, downside of 2, because of the internet, maybe downside of 2.4, because of no running water, basically. If I can fix this, that would be nice. And I can buy myself through this. This is what it means. I can fix the water issue, right? I can fix the water, the internet, right? And the moment I have enough things fixed, it is convenient for me to move away from noisy areas, basically, and just have my peace. There is a world where both things are true, and I should move just on general terms. Move around on general terms. Just maybe I could get courage. Maybe this moving around is also useful, meaning that it kind of cancels out the fact that you have to spend 20 minutes walking, basically, right? Maybe walking becomes a useful activity. There are things, this is a dead space, you know, ice, drama, something that would potentially take time to resolve, and it's locked into place, right? There are neutrals, potentially. Maybe you could buy your way through, but it will cost you a lot of money. Neutral situation. So those are some downsides that I found. To find upsides is obviously no noise. Which I have no idea how big the number is. This is a very big fucking number. Very big. It's made out of smaller numbers of percentages. So, it's 3.1. It's the main reason, basically. And it definitely gets this drama thing of, like, this is a big reason why things are not convenient. So it is convenient to move away. We're talking about convenience and inconvenience of this place, which would help me escape from this. Maybe you wouldn't be able to escape 100%. Maybe there's some kind of, like, a follower that you have. Your wife. that would still be able to visit the house and you fucking hate her or whatever. Or motorbikers, bro. Or dogs would still be around this area. In my case, most of the noise would be cancelled just by me moving into a house. And yes, again, this moving thing could be useful as a way for people to contact me, basically, and ask questions. It's complicated. Give them an opportunity, right, to see my face. In case they have courage or whatever. In the garden, there are unique upsides like more food sources. Right, that's a pretty nice one. There's potentially new, better neighbors who also have houses who would be a lot nicer on average, right? So there are unique upsides, not just like something is missing or you can run away from things that are bothering you. And the total for me personally is very close. 60 versus 20. Which is only 3x difference. It's not a lot. But it is a fucking difference that I have to bridge. I have to be able to invest into this difference. And come to think of it, like, I cannot move my inventory, most of my inventory, so potentially it is more like 6 times difference. I cannot move my computer easily, and I cannot move the rest of my inventory easily. And that creates a lot of problems. There's a security problem, like, you name it. Establishing yourself in a house is a very difficult situation, and you can't just run away for the sake of running away from drama, because drama has to kind of resolve itself, right? And technically, buying yourself time is the best way to resolve drama. Anything that feels like low pressure thing to do, you do it. That would just buy yourself time. We're talking about drama as well. Drama. The reason why you want to buy yourself time is because drama cannot last forever. But it can last years. Okay? And while capitalism is dying and transforming into something else, you have to keep track of something ticking forward. And that happens to be technology. This is also one of those things that is actually solving the problem in exact same way. In the capitalistic way. It's technology that can set me free to move to the next location. I just need to figure out, like, maybe I can use a water filter, maybe I can pick up some skills, spend time there, basically, when things are really nasty in here. I could be spending 1 week during the holidays, because it's really nasty, I swear. When people blow up their egos and nobody wants to pop it, it becomes a very nasty drama of, like, why are you supporting this nasty fucking insanity? And drama thing is opening up over and over again because that's how things die, you know? They get consumed by drama. Which now opens up vortexes. And hopefully not drama vortexes, but a way to escape from that bullshit. Even a temporary safe space can buy you plenty of nice time. For me, I think it is going to be a full transition in the end. Although it is kind of annoying, but it's cool. I can also paint the house if I want to. I can do plenty of things. I have ability to renovate my house the way I see fit with my own efforts, and it's that's pretty beautiful to me. So there's gonna be this constant war of number go up. This number has to become bigger than this. This is inconvenience number of leaving a certain location, and the inconvenience number of what do I get for doing that. So right now, unfortunately, it's 120 and 20. The difference is 6x. And now 6x is unfortunately pretty far away, but manageable. If there are opportunities for me to upgrade this and learn new skills, that's what I should be focusing on instead of fiddling around, fidgeting. Fidgeting, remember? We shouldn't waste time fidgeting right now. While everyone else is drinking poison because they want to win drama of, like, look how much poison I've drank. Because that's what it is. Like, you have to do borderline criminal behavior. Edgy, so to speak, to be the drama master. You create the most drama and it just solidified, basically. People have agreed that you're the coolest person. Look how crazy this guy is. Wow. He did this, and that, bro. Everyone should be doing that. And obviously, like, no bad person is gonna run victorious with the drama. But the most important thing is to stay away from the harm's way, right? Because it's dangerous. These people, they go insane for this thing. The focus has been shifted. And then you become even more evil in order to destroy drama. But you cannot do it in self-sacrifice. You cannot Luigi yourself out of this. It doesn't work. It just becomes a special case that is celebrated of, like, wow, that's the only way we have to beat that drama. It is somewhat important to acknowledge that removing billionaires from the board could be an act of war that could be declared by the people. Absolutely. But war is still foundationally not a good thing to do. Unless someone signs up for it. I don't know. If you can throw bad people into more bad people, that is the best solution ever. Evil versus evil is the world war you always wanted. I hate how much this drama seems to rhyme with, like, Russia versus Ukraine drama. And most things do rhyme that way, right? You're seemingly surrounded in a deadlock, fighting against a bunch of enemies. You are winning, in a way. You are growing, but at the same time, you are being crippled and attacked while everyone else gets to walk free. And they don't have to give a fuck about you. Which is crazy. And the moment this drama is over, I will be godlike. I'll be unbelievably powerful. All my skills gonna come back to normal from being crippled at 50%. You know? I would still be crippled at 50% capacity here, too. If not worse. I might be nerfed a lot harder, as you can tell. 6 times. Anyways, I started the topic, and maybe there's something to dive into that would be interesting. I wish to be able to do more calculations. I wish to get more offers, basically, of how to escape from this drama, because escaping is nice. Don't get me wrong. Escaping is nice. To take a break, maybe they will pick on a new target, basically. Maybe they are very much attached to me. And I could give them a little bit more food for thought, and then disappear, and then reappear, to see how are they doing? Searching for me? I am a believer in fate. I think that dominoes fall one after the other. When this drama resolves, like, it could potentially pull me into a real vortex, or in order to solve the drama, at the same time, just pop it and pull me in because I've chosen something. Who knows, man? Oh yeah, one of the biggest factors that kind of creates this drama right now is women not giving a fuck, bro, of what's going on. They don't give a. They actually even flex of how much they don't care. So whoever cares the least carries the biggest burden. Now, I'm not sure what that fucking means. It is men and women mixed bag of sludge, basically. This whole fucking unit should be sent to Russia. I don't care about war, just send them away, you know? It is technically war. Look, if war is happening, we don't want to have a dirty country filled with a bunch of fucking idiots who can turn on you at any moment, right? Because surrounded by this, I have the same heart of, yeah, I would probably use weapons against women instead of against Russians. Like, I have my own ideas. But that's because I'm surrounded and, like, women just don't give a fuck. Unfortunately, nobody cares about anything, which is also very pretty. And I have to kind of fucking conjure uh, solutions the way I have it, right? Every person is unique and every person solves things differently, as I've said. But it's really nice to have this calculation to discuss the ups and downs of a decision to be made, if it's worth switching. This is not exactly how Mr. Who's the Boss makes his videos. You want to feel the difference. You want to feel the 6 times difference of how actually technology is improving our lives. How going to a different location could amplify and boost your abilities that much more. Being surrounded by nature, for example, is a pretty good boost. Surrounded by nature, independent people, less people walking around. What I'm also seeing is there's a lot of prospects, right, in here. There's a lot of things to mine, basically, and potentially evaluate as well. There's some question marks. Like, this is a question mark of how actually valuable is to have apples and berries around, because I have that. Alternative food source. How much money can I save with this, and how much money is gonna improve the quality of my life, right? If I can squeeze $1,000 out of my ass because I'm eating apples all day, maybe every month I'm saving. How much do you have to save in a month to get 1,000? You have to save around $90, right? So there's nice little prospects of investing a little bit, every now and then, a little bit, to bridge the gap. And then it's a lot easier to transition because you have bridged most of the problems or have changed your perspective on things. So there's some perspective changing so that would be the question mark, right? The orange stuff. Let's put it that way. Like, you have to put yourself in a jail cell and really think about it, really meditate, and buy small things, invest small items. It's like jail time of, like, I have $100. What is the best thing I can do with $100? And every single time, maybe once a month, you give yourself a week of jail time and $100, and you try to invest that as best as you can, and find ways, find skills. Like, this is definitely an adventure to be had. So I just definitely appreciate the opportunity, and I have to play my card. I have not played the card of I actually can leave, guys. If they follow, though, we are in much deeper waters in terms of how drama is escalating. They are actually following me, you know? A very unique little coin that you can add to this whole thing. little coin, a little 1% of interest coming from other people. If they're interested of like what's gonna happen to the story when you share it, right? Of what's gonna happen when you're gonna move. And technically, if there's a big bubble of drama, you also get this like an additional interest of what's gonna happen when you move out of this bubble. It's not big, but again, percentages add up. So I would say maybe 3% interest. Again, when you participate in drama for a very long time, people do tend to target you. People do tend to become nastier because of it, because they think they're winning. So these things added up, nature and 3%, to give us 3 points. Then you can make a move of calculating the prospect, the nearest prospect. Let's see, you invest $100, what you can buy, what you can move. Invest a little bit of effort and dollars. What is the first problem you can solve to alleviate your pain? I would go with the internet. I need the internet the most, kind of. Like it's everything. It comes together in a home environment. Everything is pieced together. You cannot remove a single piece. The nicest thing you can bring to a new environment is activity, is to be able to do something. It is just as bad to escape and then do nothing with your life. Right? It's not fucking exciting, it's not life changing in any way. The best deal, the best deal is fucking find a friend. Rent a friend, bro. Lure in someone for $100. Approach someone, give them a challenge. But that is a social thing to do, and I have zero capacity for social things. And I'm talking about zero. I'm talking my mom is not gonna fucking do nothing in that sense. Because she's kind of like the main source, and still you need personality to solve drama. You need to know your personality. This shit's calculation. So the water problem or internet problem is you can chip that away slowly through a little bit of experience, through this little bit of jail time. You can jail things and make things more efficient basically by force. Jail yourself to become more confident and comfortable. Mostly more comfortable with the choices you make in life, no matter what the consequences are. Maybe you can find a hotspot nearby, which is unlikely but possible. See, that problem evolves into I need to invest into a SIM card, put it inside a fucking device, and then I can have my data. It's just not that easy, right? Making it a very specific process of what it takes to have internet in an area. YouTubers keep yapping about Saley. That sounds interesting. If it actually works. Just like the Honey. Honey does not really scam customers, right? Well, not at the start, I would say. Collecting discounts is good, and doing it manually is better. Drama is also a portal, basically. And again, the best solution is to just wait. But it does create urges not to wait and to actually strike back. When Jesus came to this life, he said, you got slapped? Then take another fucking slap. You go get slapped, bro. Ain't fucking... Don't matter. That doesn't matter whatsoever, bro. As long as you don't do anything illegal, uh-oh. It is nice to have another thing for emergency, and again, somewhere where you're not, the other thing would be the emergency. Please. So it would be nice to stay here in order to create this into a much more fluid, better emergency that has more venues and longer term good quality lifestyle. So I give it 5%. So I got myself stuck basically with this puzzle because I solved it pretty much. I have fairly solid values until I get in a more experience and more in detail analysis of the situation. So we should be moving on to something else, right? I've shown you the method. To recap, it's this: up, down, things that you can change using money, and things that would potentially change over time, or when the drama resolves, or some kind of sudden change happens, basically, that is dramatic. So you have that, right? Which is the basis also is the mathematical X thing instead of using percentages like 100% or 60%. You want to use this, right? Divide by 200%, which is weird, right? Like you're gonna get 50%, but it just looks so much nicer and much more controlled variables, basically. Uh, because 0.5 is seemingly less distant from 1 than the 2 is, but it's actually the same when it comes to division, right, and multiplication. So it's best to use the notation that aligns with this. That's basically the basis of how this calculation works. The only question now is how many ways we can apply this, what kind of problems we can solve, and what is going to be the next problem for me to solve. What are these like major choices that you have to make? There's pros and cons of like perhaps trying to pursue a specific girl. Do you like her or not like her? I did that, I believe, with comparison, I guess. And there's a card game Bazaar, and I compared my new card game that I wanted to make. If it is gonna be better than Bazaar. With games, however, with experience that you can turn on and off, you just get the experience, or at least a vertical slice of the experience. So vertical slice, just a piece, but where you get mostly every single layer of things happening, right? That's vertical slice. So you take that slice of experience and compare it with the other slice of the other game. Now I cannot just, well, I technically can. Technically I can just go to another place, spend those 20 minutes, to spend another like maybe 2 hours, get a vertical slice of experience in this region and then that region. That's also a possible evaluation way. These are more like expectations, and then you get a more like rough estimated number of where you are right now, how you feel in these regions at a particular time. Now, taking an actual vertical slice of these experiences, apartment versus like a house, you need like a week. You need a round experience because, like, for me, shitty things happen during the weekend when people are pieces of shit, you know? Technically, yes. This is more of a prison problem of how am I going to manage water, take showers, and all that shit, right? But because I can, like, move from one place to the other and I don't really take showers, the only logistic thing is boiling water and even figuring out whether I need it at all. Maybe I just get a filter, get water from the well, and all of a sudden we're fine. I don't know. I mean, one person drinks water, right? Drinks at least one bottle of water, and that's for an entire day. There's like additional water trip that you have to make, basically, to secure this thing. It is hard without people who actually specialize in technology and can actually grab these high level things for cheap and whatnot and establish something unique. Even I would completely appreciate it. Maybe across internet or ChatGPT is gonna help me like find some cool gadgets to try. Because if I want to move, I want to use this as an opportunity to test new things, right? Kind of experiment, which might put us to like 25 points in actuality. It is always nice to move just to get the newest technology, basically, just like the newest iPhone. And maybe you move back, excited about other new technology that will help, you know, kick drama in the balls for once. Technology called friends or supporters, followers, whatever you name it, or popularity, camera, gear. I can be popular and I can just make TikToks of like, okay, I have to take back this fucking region that has been plagued by a gang of losers, basically. I gotta take notes. So maybe the potential of striking back instead of being drained, but I don't want to look at it being drained as if I'm losing while I stay here. Anyways, we need to find more things to question, right, with this calculation, because if we just get stuck with just one decision, contemplating one decision to best of your abilities, is it not settled, right? Currently, things are not too bad. Even with all the stress involved, future could be brighter and could offer me better solutions. While I can continue working on the things that I like to do by being bothered, but there are pockets of fresh, free space. Although, one of the best activities that I don't have to need the internet for is programming. I could set up a programming station where I escape, and as long as I'm in the escape, I am programming. Meaning I'm cutting this thing down by like 60. I don't need as much water. I'm just using the resources I have, re-equip myself, and I spend those $100 on some food, like juices or whatever, and negate need for water. It's tough. It's complicated in that sense. Now that I think there should be a water pump that would allow me to like clean my hands or whatever, and then I need to finish cleaning my hands with a cloth or something, right? A towel. So there's merits. There's a like a reason that would bring this number down to potentially 30, right? Like potentially during the weekends, I sense danger, and we gotta fucking move. If I started losing my capacity to being productive, if I have an opportunity to move to a different place, I calmly do so and can maintain my productivity. Potentially, again, everything is negated. I don't need the internet. I don't need that. With the toilet, it's like I come back. Like I use the utilities that I have in one place and I go to another place for a retreat, basically. And I can just like quickly run or whatever, do the exercise of 10 minutes. It is supposed to be like 10 minutes of running. Do you have 10 minutes for running in your day? All right. Can you put that into your schedule? Well, technically 20 minutes if we're going both. Like running speed is twice as fast, and then you cut time, everything, and utilize a card that you have in your inventory, basically. In response to the stupid shit that people do around you. In other words, there are two fluctuations going on, right? They cross over, meaning that you have to jump from one thing to the other and spend time a little bit differently. There is a possibility for a crossover. Instead of choosing one or the other, you choose both and see how it works out. Which one continues to grow and watch which one collapses eventually. Another way to calculate basically what's up, right? Not through evaluation, not through this calculation, but through just letting two things occupy space. And that is a very, very best possibility for me, the way I see it. Where I don't demand specific needs, I don't grow needs to the point where they are, disturbing my lifestyle. And I can upgrade whatever I want in that sense. I can keep upgrading, keep buying more things, or ordering internet access in case I want to like transfer files faster. You name it. Best way to avoid getting scammed or fooled, even by yourself, is to have the least commitment. Least commitment. Where both things are solving specific problem, it creates a kind of zero commitment. But you have to commit to this change still, right? But financially, $0. I should have called it $0 commitment, right? So you can see how big changes in your life, big decisions, are deeply threatening, first of all, and you have to analyze every single angle of this. You have to worry about it for a very long time. One interesting experiment that bumped into my head is like, should I make this video 1 hour long? What are the benefits and downsides? Let's investigate. If you are torn, and those are real episodes that I had back in the day, they basically turn into just like a album review. It's not that special anymore. I could bring it back. I mean, it's literally Ava Max thing. That's what I attributed that to. Torn episodes. Anytime there's a new album release or an interesting artist with an interesting album, I give them a torn to try and solve a problem, trying to lean when I don't know exactly. And this calculation can be applied in so many ways, of course. 1 hour videos versus 30-minute videos. This will eventually happen. So I am gonna probably talk about in favor of 30-minute videos, right? So why not switch now as the argument? Giving this maybe that. Challenge myself to round up or shrink my points. Pretty reasonable. But now we will need negative as well. I'm going to be closer to what people like to receive. Even though they like podcast, you can always just play a playlist of these videos. It's not going to take that much longer to set it up. It might be even more convenient when you're forced to do that. Well, I do resonate with what people like because, unfortunately, I am desperate to cross over into 1,000. However, which videos and How? This is a complicated process. I cannot give Esteem that much credit. Are there any more benefits? Is it one and done? I don't think it's that easy. And again, we can contemplate, like, this is one of those questions that would be tearing me apart for a long time. And when we get through what people like, we get to understand what people need the most, what people tend to watch. Understand where I land in the face of the algorithm. This might just be it for the positives. I mean, it's supposed to be fairly simple assessment, right? Then you just multiply these numbers, get the answer. Now for the counter arguments and the reasons why I make 1 hour videos. Well, I do have to squeeze myself very hard for all the juice and all the materials that can come out of my mouth, basically. Which kind of counters what people need is what I need is being countered with that. The additional thing is I have a lot to say and there's no edits. So I usually would make 45 minutes videos. It is nice to draw material, as I've said, training session of like whatever I can put on the table. And I should just do a well-rounded 1 hour thing that I'm gonna be stuck for a very long time. It will collapse. But how about say no for now, right? I have to edit myself when I speak in order to be more efficient. And I have no idea how it comes out to the other person. I don't vet myself, right? Don't cut myself into pieces. Don't try to slice you the best piece. It will collapse on its own weight because it has to. It has to become better, essentially, right? I have to push myself forward to be more efficient with my own created ideas of how to live my life. It is nice to say things out loud, and most importantly, not think that I'm doing something wrong. I'm just filling empty space until I overflow, right? We still have 13 minutes. It's great. We can finish this and it's going to be looking clean. The most common edit you can make is actually speed up yourself. Even 10% speed up would shave 6 minutes. I have a lot to say and I have to say all the things that I have to say. And I have to run one real experiment and one theoretical experiment where nothing should change. This thing should not collapse and tell me that, wow, 30-minute videos are way better to make than 1 hour videos. Way better. I just found a magical unicorn reason. Alright, this is another generic one of like, I can fit most of the ideas into 1 hour period. And that's where I want to keep it until it definitely feels like it. I keep saying this thing though. It will eventually happen. Should it happen right now though? Man, I'm sweating. Imagine a teacher so high in expertise that he collapses the whole 45 minutes speech or lesson into 40 minutes. That's great, you know? And this is the sort of like, I want to become faster. I want to prove myself. And I haven't actually set goals, unfortunately. That is one of the goals. That is the uniform that I wear, unfortunately. It's based on my confidence. And I'm actually going to give it a big chungus in there. Now, the difference is still there. Still very significant. How can I possibly protect 1 hour videos from collapsing into something better, right? It's just significantly better. 30-minute videos would take more work. Because I would have to practice over and over again. In order to make a collapse, in order to, this eventually will happen, well, it has to happen naturally. I have to run out of things to say, try again, run out of things to say again, try the third time, run out of things to say the third time about the same topic, and then finally I give up. I'm like, maybe we need to shave those 5 minutes now. Maybe it's 55 minutes, a lesson, and it's over, bro. But this has to prove itself. If I forced it, it would take more work, just like other people take more work to try and like squeeze themselves into a tiny video, just say facts, cut all the emotional jizz out of it, and you have a regular video essay. You have to work things out. You have to put yourself in a flow state, and whatever comes out, whatever pee comes out, whatever bodily liquids get uploaded on YouTube, that's just something I have to fucking deal with, you know? It would take more work, and I think it's a 25x. It's a pretty juicy one. So, my belief that it will eventually happen, then let it fucking happen. Eventually. Right? Why force? I can't force it. I can anticipate and wait for it to happen. But we're getting closer. We're getting closer to equality and leaning towards 1 hour videos, or just canceling out the idea entirely, right? I almost want to remain hidden. I want to remain completely natural. That once I do reach 20 minutes and they sound very good witty, like a very good researched video, in reality you're going to be listening to someone speak for 20 minutes without any edit, without any research. I already have done all the work. I just squeezed what I already know into a 20-minute video, into a burger, and served it. For now, I just want to make street art, something that nobody pays for. And police sometimes tries to catch you off guard and be like, hey, that's illegal. It is a whole different beast. To be pursued over being wanted. Of course, everyone wants to be wanted, and they want to reach that minimum wage slavery level. But before that, you need experience. You need to live your life if you can. The best thing is seeing this natural progress, right? Seeing natural progress. It will happen naturally. This is why I don't have to actually force it or do anything about it. I want to see natural progress. Everything will shrink naturally. And let me... There you go, right? Put it over here, blah, blah, blah. Which should actually... If I do something enough times, with enough precision, I become better at it. It's great. Challenge myself. Don't need to force it. Yes, challenge myself to know when that happens and become more skillful, but it will still happen naturally. Even if I challenge myself, that doesn't mean it will become 30-minute videos. And I think it should happen. Like, I feel confident in this thing. Nature does not let me down. In fact, I look at nature and I can predict the future. Nature and future are weirdly related. When you observe what normally happens and where we are going, when you observe the seasons, you realize what nature is and what's going to happen next. Since I put myself on a path, I'm just naturally collapsing. The real question is, when is it going to be the 55-minute mark? When I confidently press that button and stop recording. As you can see, I have pretty much solved this problem, and it's a fun problem to solve. And you can solve many problems just like that. You tear yourself apart, but your feelings have to dictate exactly the same choice that you have made. And you must not be stunned by your foundings of like, wait, there are actually really good arguments. You're almost fighting voices in your head that might tear you to take something drastic. Should you go there? Should you make this guy a friend? Is this a good person, right? All of these tearing moments can be solved just using the simple math. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you learned this method. And this video is 55 minutes long.